Today, we're going to give you 5 tips to make you a better gamer at the new PUBG Desert Map. Hey, Johnson, Gents, Quaweds here, bring you gaming with Zesty Twist. So the first things you gotta know is that the map has changed the meta. It's now a lot more on survival and getting your position in the circle, rather than getting kills and making sure that you're on top of your enemy. So that is the first tip. Getting a good position is highly important. You need to think about your position in the circle a lot more than you used to have to. Now, relating to that is my next tip, which is staying outdoors. With a lot more hills and cover, outdoors is now a way better spot to be in. Whether you're on first person and you don't get much information from being indoors, or if you're on third person, you now get a lot more information from peeking over those ridges with the third person perspective on your enemies. I think people underestimate how powerful these ridges and hills can really be from people who are also in houses. If you can get yourself positioned on the edge of the circle where people from the houses need to move into that circle, you can get a lot of easy pickoffs and just get a great position on the next circle. The next tip is vehicles are less safe now, or less viable altogether. With the counterparts on a Wrangle map being about 30 kilometers faster than the vehicles that they're provided with on this map, they're just not as good. And bringing them into late game, it used to be that you would use the vehicle as cover, but now with all these ridges, you don't really need the vehicle as the cover, as there's already a lot of bumps and ridges to use as cover. The other reason why they're not as safe is they're really easy to spot, so people can go up and down the ridges, but vehicles tend to just kind of go over them flat, so you can see the vehicles from a distance and keep shooting them because they don't really go in the cover anywhere. What I'm saying is, obviously sometimes you need to use a vehicle, you just have to do it, but if you don't have to, don't use a vehicle, especially in late game. My next one's pretty simple, and that's just pick up a fuel can. With the map being so much bigger now, and cars needing to drive really far from that first circle sometimes, you just need to pick up a can because also the vehicles use up a lot more fuel. As you can see here, this pickup truck, it's a gas guzzler, and it just uses a lot of fuel. So pick up a fuel can, and you'll thank me later. So my last tip is getting that 4x scope. Never in a game has the 4x scope been more prevalent than now. So don't try and skip on looting too hard, because this time the 4x scope is going to be a lot more powerful than it was on the Wrangled map. This is because you can't just drive up, as I said before, driving is much more dangerous, so you need to keep your distance, and a 4x scope on the terrain now is just a lot more viable. If you've been struggling to find great loot in the new desert map, I put out a video of 5 places for really good loot, and not all of them are just obvious places that everyone already knows. Some of them are a little bit underground and they don't know where they are. So if you want to check out that, I have a little annotation come up the top here of the eye. Click on that and you can go watch that video. And that sums up my 5 tips. I'm going to have more of these videos for the new desert map, new updates. So stay around, subscribe if you want to find out more about this game and just get better at it. Let's get better together. Subscribe, like, suck my dick. Let's get it going. And as always, like, suck my dick.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers.